Yo, Diddy is fighting for his freedom, but he might be fighting the whole damn internet too. Cause now that the feds got him cornered, everybody got something to say. Old friends, ex-lovers, bodyguards, people coming out the woodwork like roaches when the lights come on. So today, we reacting to a new video from the channel, The Truth Is. I'll put the link in the description. This video will be deep for sure, and we're gonna break this down together.
Right now, Diddy is fighting for his freedom, and things aren't looking so good for him. His entire bad boy operation is being exposed to the public, who's getting a picture of who Diddy really is. While Diddy has been getting exposed in the trial, he's also getting exposed on the internet. Now that they see the monster locked in a cage, his associates feel safe to speak out.
This always happens, bruh. When you up, you untouchable. When you down, you disposable. Diddy ran that whole bad boy empire like a mafia boss. Power, money, silence. But now that the wall's closing in, folks finally feel bold enough to speak. Monster locked in a cage though, that line cold and probably true. Cause now the internet and the courtroom both got him on trial. And the people who used to be quiet, yeah, they singing louder than the Weeknd on tour.
Recently, a former artist of Diddy named Chopper did an interview where he exposed why Diddy is so evil. According to him, it's connected to the organization Diddy's a part of that's controlled by the devil himself. He confirmed that Diddy is indeed a member of the secret society that runs America. A few years back, Diddy was no doubt one of the most powerful men in the music industry. He was a gatekeeper and a button pusher who answered only to the real elite above him. The amount of power Diddy had back then was second to Jay-Z, his partner in crime. Diddy wasn't just any hip-hop executive, he was hip-hop royalty. He made the elites who owned the music industry billions of dollars over his career. For years, Diddy was protected. He got away with things that not even money could buy you out of. He shot someone in the club, and the person who got shot even snitched that it was Diddy. Everyone knew Diddy was guilty, but they pinned it all on his artist shine and kept him free. In 2015, he even brutally assaulted his son's football trainer, beating him with a heavy gym weight, almost taking him out. He got away with that as well. He also almost got away with giving Cassie a brutal beatdown in the hotel hallway. No matter what he did, he never faced justice for it.
Alright, so now we got Chopper, a whole former bad boy artist, straight up saying Diddy evil cause he part of some devil-run society. Bruh, y'all acting like that's a plot twist, like we ain't been seeing the signs. You mean to tell me this man been moving like a villain in plain sight for decades and folks just now connecting the dots? Shot a man in a club, walked free. Beat his son's trainer with a damn kettlebell, walked free. Did Cassie dirty for years, walks free. At some point, it ain't just about lawyers or money no more. It's power, the untouchable kind. And Chopper calling it what it is, a secret society that runs shit from the shadows. Now, whether you believe in all that Illuminati stuff or not, you gotta admit, Diddy was moving like somebody who had invisible hands keeping him safe. And now that his shield cracking, all these voices finally crawling out the grave. That's the crazy part. They waited until the beast got chained up before speaking on a terror. This ain't just karma. This is what happens when a spell breaks.
Now I know money can buy you out of a lot of things, but money doesn't always solve all legal troubles. That's where you need money and powerful connections. Connections you could only acquire by being a part of the secret societies that run this country. Diddy had Illuminati levels of power just like Jay-Z. That's because Diddy was a part of the Illuminati, or what they're really called, the Freemasons. This is exactly what one of Diddy's former artists, Chopper, just confirmed during a recent interview. For those who don't know Chopper, he was a part of Diddy's Making the Band and was signed by Diddy back in the 2000s. He spent a lot of time around Diddy and saw what really takes place behind the scenes in the music industry. Recently, he did an interview with real-life street stars where he was asked if he thought the Illuminati was real and if Diddy was a part of it. Chopper not only confirmed that the Illuminati is definitely in the music industry, but he also claimed that Diddy was a part of it.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Diddy was wealthy, right?
He is wealthy.
He is wealthy.
Yeah.
And they talk about stuff like the Illuminati.
Wow, you gonna go that far?
Yeah, I'm going there. Did you see anything?
Say, bro, is my vape ready? I gotta smoke to this. You gonna fall now?
We're gonna go a little.
Yeah, I see that. I don't think you're ready for that.
I think we are.
I don't think you are.
No, I'm not. I'm probably not. Let's go there. But we want to go there.
You sure that's what you want?
Yeah, I want to go there.
All right.
So, the Illuminati. Is this a real thing?
Yes.
And were you ever introduced to it? Did you?
I would never tell you that. But I would tell you one thing. I told you, success don't come from working hard. What I told you, success comes from being chosen.
Chosen, right?
You didn't catch me. I went over your head.
Right.
I already told you it was Illuminati.
Okay.
But you gotta have you gotta have supply and demand. You gotta be able to supply what they're willing. You gotta have it. You gotta have what they want. And your job is to make sure that you keep providing it, or they're gonna do you something.
Right.
I don't think you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Do you feel if the curtain was pulled back in Hollywood, that America be ready to see what the hell's going on?
America ain't even ready to see aliens.
When Chopper said success don't come from working hard, it comes from being chosen, I felt that in my soul. It ain't just a bar. That's the whole music industry in one sentence. Serious now. Look, I know people hear Illuminati and start rolling their eyes, but listen to what he actually saying. He's telling you straight, this game ain't about talent, it ain't about hustle, it's about whether you got something they want and whether you're willing to keep giving it, no matter the cost. And the way he said they gonna do you something if you stop, that ain't no metaphor, that's a warning. Like, bruh, you think Diddy stayed at the top this long just off charisma? Nah, you don't stay that clean while doing that much dirt without something or someone protecting you. And he didn't even deny being introduced to it. He just said, I'd never tell you that. Come on now. That's not a no. That's a, my NDA still active. Then dead serious again. And yo, when he said America ain't even ready to see aliens, that wasn't just a joke. He's telling you what's behind the curtain in Hollywood is darker than y'all think. Most people ain't built for that kind of truth. And that's exactly why they get away with it.
No, that's right. Let alone some diabolical. Let alone some diabolical.
You think I'm capping? That's the funny part about it.
No.
You think I'm exaggerating?
Yeah. No, I'm just. Listen, we ain't there yet, but
Do you study the 48 laws of power?
Yeah.
You sure?
No, I don't study it.
Have you studied it?
Yeah.
I studied it as well.
Right.
Let's say, bro, I go to sleep to it every day.
Yeah, I don't do all that.
So you keep it in your memory banks.
You can go down in a wormhole with this 48 laws.
Chopper revealed that the Illuminati being in the music industry is not a myth. It's real. He also claimed that he knows Diddy is definitely a part of it. When he was asked if he was ordered to join the Illuminati, he responded by saying he wouldn't tell them if he did. To most of us here on this channel, that shouldn't be much of a surprise. Diddy is definitely a Freemason, and like I've exposed a few weeks back, the things he was doing with Cassie were all Thelema sex rituals. For those who don't know, Thelema is an occult organization. Diddy is a high-degree Freemason. He's been a Freemason since the beginning of his career. In fact, one of his early parties he hosted with Heavy D was inside of a Masonic lodge. Diddy was showing us he was a Mason all the way back then. That's the main reason he was protected for so many years. He was a puppet used by those pushing the agenda. He did it so well, he was chosen to be at the top just like Jay-Z. Just like Chopper said in this interview, you have to be chosen. I tell people this all the time on this channel. Talent isn't what makes stars. It's only a part of it. The stars are all chosen. They all become Masonic puppets. Now for those that are gonna ask why Diddy is in jail right now if he's a part of the Illuminati, well, this is something I explained many times over. Diddy sued Diageo, which is controlled by the real elite billionaires. They felt like Diddy was overstepping and trying to force himself into more power. So they punished and ended him. Simply put, Diddy tried to bite the hand that fed him, and the hand bit his head off. This is why Diddy is where he is today. But I will say one thing, the fact that he has Brian Steele on his team, the same man who got the Freemason Young Thug out, is quite interesting to say the least. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this, Diddy is set free, as Brian Steele is a lawyer for Masonic puppets. Brian Steele in this trial was a curveball in my examination of all of this, but it could just be that Brian couldn't say no to the money. While we are talking about this case, there are two things that are very telling that I wanted to go over really quick. First, I noticed the courts have been protecting all of Hollywood from being exposed. This shows how this system is truly corrupted. Diddy was a music industry gatekeeper. We know he victimized many celebrities and was around many others. Yet these people are not named in the trial, and those that are named are being protected. This trial is a sham. It's all crisis control for Hollywood. The elite know that in order to expose Diddy, they would have had to expose all the puppets as they were all involved too. So what they did was just protect everyone in Hollywood and put all the blame on Diddy.
This dude said Diddy got dropped because he tried to bite the Illuminati's hand and they bit his head off. Bro, that's the most poetic way I ever heard someone say you flew too close to the sun. Let's break this down real quick. So according to this, Diddy was never just rich. He was chosen. A Freemason, a puppet, a gatekeeper, somebody who didn't just work for the industry. He ran the door to get in. And honestly, that tracks. I mean, how many dudes you know get away with the kind of shit Diddy got on his resume and still get celebrated? But here's where it gets wild. Chopper didn't just say the Illuminati might be real. He said it's real and Diddy is in it. And then he hit him with the classic, I can't tell you that, when asked if he was ordered in. Ha, come on, man. That's a yes with a non-disclosure attached. Then this Lima sex ritual stuff. Look, I ain't gonna pretend to know the details of all that, but if even half of that is true, Hollywood ain't just sick. It's spiritual warfare in a Balenciaga jacket. But the real point here ain't just Diddy, it's the system. If what they say is true, that the courts protecting Hollywood and this trial is just crisis control to keep other puppets from being named, then bruh, this ain't justice. This is theater, a performance, where Diddy's just the fall guy for a much bigger machine. And yeah, maybe he was protected for years, but the second he tried to flex too hard, sue the wrong billionaires, or reach for a seat at the wrong table, they reminded him, you ain't the boss, you the help. Now he's sitting in a cell while the rest of them keep making music, movies, and money like none of this ever happened.
Now, in another part of the interview, Chopper also claims that he walked in on Diddy making out with a powerful white music executive.
What I seen is he gay, yes, but it.
Yeah, like, it's like,
What makes him gay?
What did you see, so?
You owe me extra, Joker. All right. So one time I'm in the studio. I've been trying to get the Lil Daddy video shot for so long, bruh. Probably about 5 months straight. I just signed with Bad Boy South. See, people look at Chop and think, what you think it's the band and all that stuff, but the band was over. I signed the Bad Boy South for $500,000. The cameras was off now, right? Diddy's a different person than when the Making the Band cameras was on, and when Showtime was over, he became himself, right? One time I tried to get this whole Lil Daddy video shot. Just one video is all I wanted. I had the budget and everything. Diddy kept jugging me. Yeah, I got you. When you got me, you hear me? When you got me, you did. I'm about to say all this stuff. Well, I go to New York. I'm working on a project. Harv called me. I'm like, what's Sam, Harv? What Puff at? It wasn't no Diddy. He was like, what Puff at? I said, he in the A room. He said, put him on the phone. So I'm like, all right. So I go into the A room. When I go into the A room, Paulie there. Paulie is his #1 security guard. You hear me? I'm like, Paulie, Harv wanna talk to Puff. He said, I can't do that. He in here busy. So Harv got on the speakerphone, was like, put that on the phone. And Paulie looked that way. So I was like, that's right, put him on the phone. So I go walk into the room. When I walk into the room, I open the screen. When I open the screen, I seen him and a white powerful man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I promise you, a white powerful man.
you can't name him.
If you want me to name him, you're gonna lose all this.
Don't name him.
You won't be able to post this on the
What
TV.
movie he produced?
What labels he on?
Ooh.
That's how you run your dude.
Ooh.
I wouldn't lie to you like that.
Come on.
And I walked in there and I said, ooh! And I shut that. And what I seen was kissing and crotch. I didn't see no, I just seen crotch. I know that sounds crazy.
That sounds crazy.
Crotch rubbing and kissing.
Gay.
Ball cradling.
2 days later, I shot the Lil Daddy video in the remix with Lil Wayne.
Come on, man. Done.
Make that up. Make that make
We got
sense.
it done.
So now, hold on. We watched the Drink Champs interview. Who named who named the song Lil Daddy? That's your song, right?
Yeah.
Because he had it real bad calling it Daddy.
Lil Daddy is in New Orleans.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
us.
Okay.
We just, Lil Daddy was
No,
down.
because he had the Drink Champs interview and he calling everybody on.
Did
Yeah, he called it.
he? Man, Lil Daddy New Orleans.
Okay.
You heard him? You been before?
Nah.
You should come.
Chopper claims that while he was working with Diddy, he accidentally walked in on Diddy making out with a powerful music executive. He even claimed that if he named the executive, it could end this person's show, meaning the man was so powerful, he could destroy all of them if he was mentioned. Now, in my opinion, I believe he could be referring to one of two men. One could be Clive Davis, as it was alleged that Diddy actually hooked up with Clive in order to get funding for Bad Boy Records. It could also be Clive Davis because he was indeed a very powerful music executive. Now, he could also be talking about Lucien Grange, the head of UMG, as back when Little Rod sued Diddy, he alleged that he would witness Lucien Grange go inside Diddy's room for hours, and he believed they might have been doing something together.
Alright, now we getting into that unspoken part of the industry. The one folks whisper about but never say out loud. Chopper talking like he got receipts, and not just gossip, but eyewitness visuals. He walk into the room and sees Diddy getting cozy with the powerful white executive, and then, boom, 2 days later, the man finally get his video shot, remixed with Lil Wayne and everything. Let me keep it real with y'all. That don't sound like no coincidence. That sound like power dynamics. That sound like somebody had to be reminded of their place. Or maybe somebody had to pay up in a way that ain't got nothing to do with money. And when Chopper say, if I name that man, you'll lose your whole channel, that's not clout talk. That's fear talk. That's this dude got the keys to the kingdom energy. Now look, I ain't here to police nobody's bedroom. What grown folks do, that's on them. But the problem is when that stuff ties into control, into who gets a deal, who gets silenced, and who gets punished when they don't play along. And that whole Lil Daddy thing, come on, bruh. The song title, the timing, the remix, then Diddy out here on Drink Champs calling grown men daddy like it's normal. You ain't gotta be a detective to put the pieces together. You just gotta not be scared to say what everybody else pretending they didn't see. So, yeah, maybe it was Clive Davis, maybe Lucien Grange, or maybe someone even bigger. But if Chopper telling the truth, Diddy ain't just been playing the industry game. He been playing something else entirely.
Now, Lucien Grange is so powerful, he had this part of the lawsuit removed, and even got the lawyer reprimanded for calling him out. That's the power these Masonic handlers have. Like I've said in many of my videos, Diddy has been gay the whole time, but he was definitely groomed into this. He isn't the first man in the industry to take advantage of male artists and make them do things for opportunities. This is what likely happened to Diddy when he was coming up, and now he does it to others coming up as well. It's the cycle of the music industry, how they control these artists and take away their dignity. The music industry is controlled by Freemasons. It was set up by them. The music industry in Hollywood are all propaganda tools for the Masons. They want to shape the world using Masonic principles. In order to make it at Diddy's level in the Masonic system, you gotta play the game. Now, Diddy is facing the consequences of not playing the game by their rules. You get punished and pay for it with your life. Diddy flew too close to the sun. Having tons of money and tons of power wasn't enough. He wanted what Elite had, unlimited money and unlimited power, but isn't a part of those ruling bloodlines. So they were never gonna let him get there. This is why Diddy is in jail, not due to his crimes. He's been a criminal since the beginning. He's in jail because he bit the hand that fed him. Sadly, while this all might seem like a fight for justice, in reality, it's more like a cover-up. Diddy is being blamed for all of the industry's dirty deeds.
Yeah, this part right here hit different. It ain't even about whether Diddy did all that wild stuff. It's the system that shaped him, then turned around and fed him to the fire. If what they saying is true, Diddy was groomed into this, put through the same sick rituals that he later put others through. And that's how this game stay alive. A cycle of silence, pain, and control. He ain't the first. And if things don't change, he won't be the last either. It's deeper than just bad contracts or shady deals. We talking about a whole machine, built by Freemasons, run by handlers, protected by courts, designed to chew people up and spit out stars on command. And the second you try to rise too far, they remind you you was never one of them. That's the real punishment here. Not the crimes, not the allegations. It's that Diddy thought he could reach the top without being born into it. And now they making him take the fall for everything, like he the mastermind of evil instead of a product of it. You know, watching all this unfold just makes you think, how many of our favorite artists had to give up who they really are just to be seen? Just to get that hit song, that tour, that bag. And we cheer for them, stream the music, wear their merch, but we don't see what's behind the curtain. We see fame, but they living in a cage. So whether you believe all this Illuminati talk or not, ask yourself, why do the same patterns keep showing up? Why do so many rise and fall the same way? Maybe it's not about talent. Maybe it's about control. But yo, you think this is just a warning shot and Diddy's gonna walk free? Or is he really staying locked up to learn a lesson the elite want him to feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.